Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by MiloTree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hello, my friends. Happy almost New Year's to you and your family. Today, I am going to rebroadcast one of my most popular episodes from 2021 on how to write optimized blog posts. But before I start, I want to say 2022 for me is all about monetizing, and it's all about helping you monetize as well. One of the easiest ways is to set up a paid workshop and offer some small bit of teaching to your audience where they can pay you directly for what you know. If you want to learn more about setting up a paid workshop, head to workshop.milotreecart.com and you can get the replay on how to do this step by step. It is so much easier than you think. You can get your own paid workshop up in a matter of days. So head to workshop.milotreecart.com. It's $10 and it will get your wheels turning. So to monetization in 2022. For today's episode, this is a solo episode and it was inspired by you. I posted in my Facebook group called the Become a Blogger Genius Facebook group. If you are not a member, please join. I'm in there all the time. It is a wonderful community. I asked, what do you want to hear about on the podcast? And people reached out and said, how about a blog post checklist? And guess what? Today, I am breaking down what elements you need to create a killer blog post. So without further delay, here I go. I am very excited to bring you this blog post checklist episode where I go through a list of things that I think makes for an awesome blog post. To get the blog post checklist yourself, head to milotree.com / ready for it, blog post checklist, and you can download this, but I want to go through it piece by piece so that you know what it takes. Again, you don't have to take notes. Get your copy today, print it out, put it on your desk, and when you are writing your next blog post, make sure you use it as a reference. So let's dig in. Before you create your blog post, please step back and think to yourself, what is the one problem I am solving with this blog post? Even if it's a recipe or a craft, somebody is searching for something, they've got an issue, you've got a solution. This is the point of your blog post. It gives you, by thinking about it this way, it gives you a different perspective. It becomes less about you and much more about your audience, the people you are helping. It also sets you up as an expert, gets people to trust you and like you, so eventually they will buy whatever it is you are selling. The second thing I recommend you do before you start writing is think about the keyword or keyword phrase that you're going to target in this post. Yes, be strategic. In my WordPress course called The Beginner's Guide to WordPress, you can find out about that at milotree.com / WordPress. I go into easy ways to do keyword research, but I do recommend you spend a little bit of time seeing what your competition is posting so you can see how you can create an even better post targeting this specific keyword or keyword phrase. So again, before you start writing anything, think about the problem you are solving and what is the keyword you are going after. And the next thing I'd love you to do is come up with your title. Make sure it's got the keyword in it. If possible, put the keyword toward the beginning of the title. Use some power words. You can Google what those are. Those are emotional words to get people to click. Then the next thing is look at the URL. And say to yourself, does it have the keyword in it? Is it short and sweet? Is it something I would want to click on? So definitely keep the keyword or keyword phrase in your URL, but see if you can edit it to make it even more attractive. Okay, let's now talk about actually writing the post, how to think about it. The first thing is that first paragraph. The first paragraph is doing a variety of things. One, it is using your keyword or keyword phrase right there up at the top. But 2, you are using this paragraph as a marketing platform, as a way to say to somebody, this post matters. Here is the reason why you should keep reading, keep consuming my content. How many times have you clicked over to a post, looked at it and gone, meh, and gotten out of there? This is your way to capture your audience, to say, why is this post special? How is this post better? And why you should spend your time consuming this content. Now, in terms of writing your post, you're writing this post for 2 audiences. You've got Google and you've got your visitor, and they are different. Google wants a really complete solution. Your audience, on the other hand, wants something super easy to consume. They want it skimmable. They want to be able to find exactly what they're looking for quickly. So on one hand, you want a complete solution. You want to cover all your bases in terms of solving this problem. And you want to make it easy to consume by somebody who is on this blog post on their phone watching Netflix at the same time. So the way you do this is, first thing you do is you use a lot of H2s and H3 headings to break up your content, to give it almost like chapters, sections, so people can skim down and go, oh, here's the piece that I am most interested in, and they can find it easily. Here's the next thing you want to do. Write in 5th grade language. We are talking short sentences, easy to consume, paragraphs with no more than 3 sentences, because remember, on mobile, long paragraphs seem somewhat intimidating. So you want 5th grade language, you want short paragraphs, you want to use bullet points and lists whenever possible. Answer frequently asked questions. Put the question in a header and then underneath it, answer that question. Anticipate the questions your audience will be having. And Google loves this. This gives that info. You want to try and go after, say, the snippet, which is that search result where the question shows up on Google. This is how you do that. Okay. If it is possible, see if you can add a table of contents to your content at the top. There are plugins that can do this. Yoast offers one, and that way people can read the table of contents and click on the part that they are most interested in and go directly to that. Now, if you are writing a recipe or a DIY, definitely use a recipe or craft card and put it toward the end of the post. This is like, if you are a food blogger and not using a recipe plugin, you are at a serious disadvantage, because this is called structured data and Google can read this. So this will help you show up in search. Now, you want to be reusing your keyword or keyword phrase often in the post, but it's a fine balance. You want to make sure it's right there and you don't want to keyword stuff. Also, you want to use synonyms of what you're talking about. This gives Google more reference to know what's in your content and therefore show it in search. In terms of photos, I recommend you have one photo toward the top of your post, and that photo be the completed project or a collage that shows the process, or it's an image that conveys what this post is about. I also recommend throughout you maybe add 3 or 4 other images, all of them different. Like, be very critical in terms of editing yourself so you're not showing a lot of redundant photos. Make sure one of those photos is pinnable. We put the pinnable image as that first photo at the top of our post. I think it's an added way to let people know what this post is about. In your images, make sure to add alt text to each photo. This helps you show up in Google image search. It enables people to know what's inside the photo, what this photo is about, and also a way to let Google and Pinterest know what this photo is about. And the other thing is, use your keyword or keyword phrase in your photo file name. So before you upload them to WordPress, make sure that isn't just some random image name, but you're actually strategically using your keyword right there. Okay. Here are ways to kind of boost your post. If you can add a video, awesome, because remember, Google's looking at time on site. If you've got a video there, and especially if it's, say, a YouTube video, which by the way is owned by Google, Google looks upon that favorably. So how can I make the experience in my blog, in this post, even better? Now, in terms of post length, I get a lot of questions about that. For Google, make sure you have covered your topic completely without repeating yourself. You don't want boring text, but you want to cover the topic. Typically, the minimum for a post is 300 words. This is debatable, but again, make sure you have answered whatever question you've posed in this post. And the next thing, and this is super important, add one call to action, a very strong call to action. I recommend you repeat it multiple times in the post, like you're directing them with street signs. Go here, do this, but it should be one thing. People want to add tons of calls to action. I disagree with that. I think your post should have one goal: sign up for my email list, click on more blog posts on my blog so that I can make more money with ad revenue, buy my product, click on my affiliate link, click on this sponsored link, whatever it is. Be super clear and have everything in this blog post driving your visitor to take this call to action. Maybe it's follow me on social media. That's a great use of your MiloTree pop-up to reinforce following you on a certain platform or joining your list. Now, in terms of other things you might want to add, I recommend you link to any other relevant blog post that you have written on your blog using good anchor text, so that if in fact you have something like you're doing a blueberry pie recipe, and you've also in the past done a pie crust recipe, you want to link to that post with, say, the anchor text, flakiest pie crust. Like, make sure things are connected. Make sure you're being very strategic about the words that you're using to link stuff, link relevant content within your blog. This is how you build up authority. Also, you may want to link to one external blog or website that's relevant, that adds value. Now, have your internal links open in the same tab. Have your external links open in a separate tab. That's kind of best practices. Now we're getting toward the end. Final things. Use the free Yoast plugin. This is an SEO optimization plugin. You don't have to pay for the paid version, but Yoast is like guardrails. It will help you optimize your post. It'll say, hey, add the keyword more often, or don't. You're repeating the keyword too much. It will make sure your meta description is filled out and that your keyword and keyword phrase are right there. It will give you insight into your title and how long it is. It's a really good tool. I never do a blog post without making sure that I've run it through Yoast, that Yoast has given me a score. Now, here's the thing. Yoast is guardrails. Yoast is not talking to Google. You are smarter than Yoast. So step back, and the goal is to get a green light. Yoast gives you a green light or a yellow light or a red light to tell you how well you are doing. Yes, we all want a green light, but it's not over if you have a yellow light. Step back, look at your post. Is it robust? Are you solving this problem? Does it make sense? Is it engaging? Does it attract your audience right at the top? If you are doing all of those things and you have a yellow light, do not worry about it. It's really just to help you optimize your post. Okay, read over your post for typos, then press publish. And I have 2 more instructions after you have published your post. One is to make sure now you go back to the other content that's on your blog and link the new post to that content. Again, this helps Google understand what you are an expert in. So you want those links going back and forward. Also, this one, I think we all forget to do this. Go to the blog post on mobile and see what it looks like. Most people are going to consume your content on mobile. See if it's funky. See if it reads well. See if it gives, it just feels good. So definitely always check your blog on mobile. So these are my tips for the checklist. Get your own checklist. Go to milotree.com/blog post checklist, and then you can have this, keep it on your desk and just check off all of these items to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. Remember, writing a blog post is a big undertaking. If you're going to spend the hours it takes to create this post and take the photos and write the content, maybe create a video, but really think it through, use this for best practices so you are setting yourself up for success. Now, reach out to me if you'd like me to do a social media checklist, because I would be happy to put that together. Just email me at jillian@milotree.com. Also, if you want to feel confident with WordPress, check out my WordPress course. I talk a lot about this, but I go deeper, talking about how to use the platform, get comfortable with the platform, what you need to pay attention to, what you don't need to pay attention to, and how to use the Gutenberg editor. So you can learn more about that at milotree.com/WordPress. I hope you thought this episode was useful. And if you have a question, comment, feedback, anything, please reach out to me at jillian@milotree.com. I love hearing from you. And I will see you here again next week.